Hi everyone, friends and fans of Playwright Foundation. We started this Eke Out series with an Indian shooter, one of the best shooters that India has ever seen, Miss Anjum Modgil. And today we have with us yet another shooter, Ayushi Podder. So Ayushi is number one shooter in India in the juniors category, and she is number two in the seniors category. She won the 2000. She won the team silver medal for 3P juniors in the Asian Championship 2019, and the first international match that she played was in 2016, where she won a team gold medal. And welcome to you, Ayushi. And it's a pleasure to have you. And
Thank
what would you like to say? I mean, what's your opinion about the whole condition that is going on right now? And you have been keeping up really well, as I know. So, what do you have to say?
saying about this pandemic is thing that we didn't ever thought about it that it's going to come, but
Right.
it's a thing which is not predictable. It can come anytime, like anytime it can happen. So
Hmm.
what, as a shooter, as a sports person, which I feel that in everything, in every situation, we should think about the positive things that's
That's
happening
very
with
right.
us. At this moment of time, at first I was getting a little bit frustrated that there are
Hmm.
so many, like when lose my matches this year, all the world cups which I was going to play all got cancelled.
Hmm.
So I was
Okay.
really stressed
Right.
out that what happened, because it would have been my first senior world cup match.
Hmm.
But
Hmm. Hmm.
as we can't predict the future what's going to happen, so it happened like that, so we can't help it
Right.
out. So
No, no.
right
So
now,
that's
what
fine.
I'm doing is like focusing on my shooting and focusing on my fitness, nutrition, everything. Just carrying out with all the things which I generally do. I'm enjoying this time with my family, which the almost all the years we don't do, because we don't get time to do so because of
Right. That's true.
continuous matches. Yeah.
Hmm.
So right now, I'm happy that I'm a little bit. We have got the time for recovery also, so we are thinking all about the positive things, not the negative
No,
things,
that's really
because
great. I just wanted to get this huge question out of the way because during these pandemic times, whenever we have a live session or whenever we have an online conversation, you just have to ask this question that what are you doing during this COVID-19 lockdown? So I just got this question out of the way. And we won't be talking about this pandemic or this negativity thing after
yeah,
this. I would really like to know, Ayushi, that how did this journey as a shooter started? I mean, when you were young, why did you choose shooting only, and how did your journey start? So, if you could just tell our viewers about from the beginning, that how
yeah.
did you get?
Actually, my dad himself is a rifle shooter, and so from the very beginning, his dream was that whether he'll have a son or a daughter,
Hmm.
he or she should compete in the Olympics if he or she
Oh
is
wow.
interested in it. He didn't
Hmm.
pressurize me, but he
Hmm.
always asked that whether you are like you can try once. But I could understand from that time that he is very interested. He want to see me in that arena of rifle shooting. So
Right.
at the very first time, I wasn't so much interested in sports at all. I was
Hmm.
interested. I was into my academics, fully focused into my academics and cultural activities. So
Okay.
slowly, when even I thought of I had a plan of pursuing medical in my higher
Hmm.
standards. All
Right.
that, like, but suddenly when I in eighth standard, when I was introduced into shooting, my dad asked me that you can just try it once. That if you are
Hmm.
interested, then you can do it, and if you are not, then you can do whatever you're interested in. So at that moment of time, when I played my first state matches, then pre-nationals, then nationals, I slowly got interested into it, and I was the situation was like that. I didn't want to return from that place. I wanted that
Hmm.
I just continue shooting, and that point of time, the one thing just struck my mind, that was like there are so many doctors, engineers around us, but there's the Olympic medalists are very rare. So
Right.
why
Right.
shouldn't we try something different, out of the box, like not we are, which is rare very much.
That's
So
very
that's
true.
the point why I chose shooting.
Okay. So probably your father suggested you that you try something and you gave it a shot, quite literally in this case. And it
Yeah,
worked really well for you. It has been working really well for you. You've been doing really well for yourself. So,
yeah.
how would you define your journey till now? Like, this is what you explained, that how did you get into shooting? But since the day one you started shooting until now, how has your journey been like, and what do you feel about it?
At that moment when I started, I was just 13 years old, and I started
Okay.
with my dad's weapon of in prone 50-meter prone event. It was a free rifle, and I remember that my first state match was, even my dad
Hmm.
insisted me that not to play with that weapon because even he felt that it was too heavier for me and I
Right.
can't maintain that maintain my position with that weapon. But
Hmm.
it was a challenge for me. I took it as a challenge that my friends are performing, then why won't I be able to perform? How much
Right.
ever I can, I should try my best and I should give my best to perform in the state matches that year itself
Hmm.
with the weapon of my dad. So I
Okay.
that year 2013 I started with prone, and then after
Hmm.
state matches, state and pre-nationals, I qualified for nationals also. But
Okay.
that year I didn't took shooting that much seriously. I was shooting in a way like I was getting accustomed to the shooting arena or the range atmosphere, like
Hmm. Hmm.
shooting with
Hmm.
the other competitors, everyone. From the next year in 2014, when I got introduced to 10-meter air rifle event. That year
Hmm.
I performed really well. Like in my I trained for 7 days, 1 week. I
Okay.
performed trained for the first time. I picked the weapon 7 days before the match because I didn't have a air rifle that time. I
Okay.
borrowed my friend's weapon and I shot the match with that. And it was
Okay.
like incredible score it was at that moment of time because it was a
Hmm.
state record there, 585 out of 385 out of 400. and
Okay.
um, and we I won the gold medal there in all the three categories. That's youth, junior, senior. And then when I
Hmm.
qualified for nationals, there also I won the youth, junior, senior, all the three gold medals in 10-meter air rifle event with a
Okay.
record. And then when I qualified for nationals, I played the nationals, then qualified for the selection trials for the main junior squad camp, which is
Hmm.
held.
Right.
So there, after that, playing 2 to 3 trials, I got selected for my first international match in the same year itself. In the
Wow, that's amazing.
that was Asian Airgun Championship. I participated in MQS category. So
Hmm.
it was really like at that moment of time when I got that success very early. It was
Hmm.
like that time I didn't have any option that I can go somewhere else or I'll leave shooting or something else. I was fully into
Right.
shooting. Yeah.
Right.
So that's the way how I started and got into shooting. And from that 2015 I got into the team national squad, Indian team national squad of juniors. And till then, till 2019, this year is my last juniors, but
Hmm.
couldn't play the matches because of
Right.
this situation.
Pandemic, right, right, right.
Yeah,
So even though it has been a little tough for you because you didn't have the right kind of equipment to start with, but
yeah,
like you said, you got recognition at a very early stage and you won some really, really high. I would say that the kind of winnings that you have, it's incredible, and that was something that happened, which is very fortunate. But what would you say that if you look back today? And if I tell you that the government or some NGO or some organization would have supported you with the right kind of equipment at the right time, how would your career would have been changed as compared to what it is today? I mean, how do you see yourself if you would have got the right kind of equipment at the right time?
I think that I just this year when I got my new weapon last year.
Hmm.
After that, I started performing well, like up
Okay.
to my capability. Like the percentage of hard work I gave to shooting,
Hmm.
the results were same from last year. So
Right.
end of last, but I feel that when I started, if that time I was given that facilities, or I have got some financial support from any sponsor or something else, then
Hmm.
this thing would have been a bit little earlier. This success or this type of score which I have produced right now, it would have a bit earlier. And
Okay.
maybe so I would have been in the like I was competing in the juniors, and couldn't I was there in
Hmm.
the team, but couldn't win a medal that time, international medal that time, individual medal, because of these
Hmm.
issues. Like I remember
Right.
that in one of my matches, like while shooting my the bolt in through which I load my load
Yep.
ammunition weapon, that fell down.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
suddenly I was like the malfunction was in between the match. So
Hmm.
even in that situation, I just pulled out the match out. But you know what, that at that moment of time we can't, even if the match is over, I have completed the match, but the performance I was giving before, due to that malfunction, I dropped down a little bit,
Got it.
which due to
Got
which
it.
I couldn't perform up to the mark. So at
Right.
that time, before, if I would have got that facilities, then I'm sure enough that I would have performed really well even before.
Right. So this is a message to the government and to the other organizations that can support
Right
that.
now, actually, right now I'm sponsored by an sponsor company, Lakshya,
Okay.
and even I am in the TOPS development program scheme of government.
Right.
But these things right now, as due to the popularity of this sport, due to this huge success of this sport, government is
Hmm.
seeing right now. But actually, in the time when I started, at that moment of time, the facilities was not that much. It was good, but not that much proper. Like I wasn't at that moment of time, I was in search for a sponsor that time.
Okay.
So
Right.
I got,
Right.
and even after I got a sponsor, with the help of my sponsor and my family, I got the weapon. Like my weapon came a year later. It took 1 year to my for my rifle to come. So it was,
That's surprising. Hmm.
yeah. So it was really a thing that I managed that time. But
Hmm.
even after the weapon reached here, it took me few months to settle down
Right.
in that. Yeah.
Got it.
So all the
Hmm.
time, and one thing which my national coach also told me, that Dipali ma'am, she once when I remember that after a match, international match, I was sitting behind. She was sitting behind my me. I came out
Hmm.
and I asked her that, ma'am, I am not able to perform. Like I'm not able to win the individual medals because of these issues. So my juniors
Right.
are going, how would I perform? So that time
Hmm.
even she said me that it's okay, Ayushi, don't take so much of stress. It's okay because you are performing in juniors right now. And even she, my parents, everyone just encouraged me that it's better that you are getting the experiences right now, so you're not
Right.
losing the matches. So I took it as experiences, because right now, when I'm into seniors, I'm
Hmm.
feeling that I'm lucky enough that I got the experiences quite before, and I faced
Yeah,
them that
that's
time.
true.
So right now I
Hmm.
am prepared enough that I can face the situation when the scores actually matters. That is in seniors.
Right. That's true. No, that's very true, and you're a truly a great source of inspiration to us because we need to understand that sometimes things around us don't work as per our needs or as per how we want it to, but we still have to manage and we still have to strive for it.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. And coming to the technical part of it, I would just like to know that what does it take to become a shooter? I mean, what is the kind of physical preparation that you do, and what is the kind of mental preparation that you do before a competition?
Physically, physical fitness is always necessary, like we all
Okay.
do. But in shooting, I feel that physical fitness is of course necessary, but mental part is very much important.
Hmm.
Mental part is very much important because just before the match, even if we are physically fit, and
Hmm.
but certain shooters, there are many shooters even in the earlier matches, incidents are there. It happened with me only, that
Hmm.
due to my mentally I was not so much confident, I couldn't win the match. But
Okay.
that experience which I got, after that I came to know that mentally I have to be prepared before every match. And I have to feel that, like, in every right now in every match, before a match starts, I just focus on my basics, my techniques. I have faith on my whatever I have trained for so long. And I do
Hmm.
a little bit of self talk also, that's very, I think it helps me a lot. And
Right.
listening to music for calming myself down, it's very necessary. Because if we are thinking, if we are so much tense every match, there's a pressure. It's not that thing
Right.
that there's no pressure in every match. In one of the match there's no pressure. Pressure will be always
Hmm.
there. But the thing is that how we manage it, how we control it, by keeping ourselves calm and like focusing on our breathing and all. So this is
Right.
the point.
I imagine myself in the situation that if I am going to, pull the trigger for a very important shot of my life, I mean, I will face a lot of anxiety because I am not trained for it. So, what kind of training do you go through for making sure that in that 2 or 3 seconds where you have to pull the trigger and you have to stay focused, you do not lose your temper there? So, what do you do to prepare for those 2 or 3 seconds that really affect the overall performance?
Like, instantly, if I think about that, if my focus fully goes onto the trigger suddenly,
Hmm.
then of
Hmm.
course I won't be able to release the shot. Because there will be,
Right.
there's a process in everything. Like, in my shooting also, in everyone's shooting, there's a process that, like, point wise we have to follow everything. Then only, like, if the cycle completes, then only we can pull the trigger.
Right.
Otherwise, if we mentally also feel at a single moment of time before just pulling the trigger that there's something uneasy, or something, question mark is there, that whether I release or not, then I cancel it out. Generally
Okay.
all shooters do so. Because
Okay.
having a question mark in their mind that whether the shot will be okay or not, thinking so much before a release of shot won't help us to release a good shot. So it
Hmm.
should be in a rhythm, it should be in a proper process.
No, I completely agree because when even talking about cricket, when we look at Virat Kohli hitting a cover drive, or when we used to see Sachin Tendulkar hitting a straight drive, it looked so effortless. But what we also need to understand is that there is years of hard work behind that one shot. And similarly with you, I mean, there is years of working and years of hard work, years of concentration exercises that you have done, that you are able to pull the trigger at the right time with full concentration. So hats off to you guys for that. I mean, that is something I think that a lot of mental stability is required for that. And you seem to
Yes.
have been doing that since a very long time. So that's really good to know. And as a layman, another question that I would like to ask you is that this is something that is just that I just wonder sometimes, and this could be something on a lighter note. That what is the difference between the training that military people get with guns, I mean shooting, and what is the difference between an athlete getting training for shooting? So is there a difference, and if there's a difference, what is the difference?
The military people do of like just to have to shoot the person, like something like the
Hmm.
object is very big in front of them. But a
Right.
shooter, like who is a sports person, sport rifle shooter, he or
Hmm.
she has to shoot with precision. Like, there's a particular area that we have to shoot in. Like we have
Okay.
the eyeball. It's the
Hmm.
size of the eyeball that we have to shoot.
Right.
So if we shoot in that, then only it's a 10. Otherwise, it's a 9. We lose a point. So you
Okay.
find out that. So I think I can make you understand about this difference of shooting. In 50 meters, in 50 meters, what happens in 10 meters? The target is very near, like in 10-meter distance. But in 50 meters, it goes on beyond. Like it's the distance is too much,
Right.
and at that moment of time, even the mistakes which we do in 50 meters, it increases.
Right.
So
Got it.
because of the distance,
Hmm. Hmm, hmm.
and for weather is obviously there. And in case of military people, they are combat shooters.
Right.
But
Right.
here we are precision shooters. We are given a time that in that particular time we have to shoot that much shots, and all
Hmm,
in
hmm, hmm.
10. Our goal is to shoot all in 10, and
Got it.
within
So
a
the
10,
distance,
like
yeah. So the distance
position,
is a
we
challenge,
can
and
be
then the
positioned.
kind of precision that is required is also a challenge, right?
Yeah, in
Okay. Okay.
three position and
Right.
in three
So you're.
position and air we shoot in.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Go ahead. Please go ahead.
It's cut. Yeah, yeah. Three position and air we have decimal scoring. Like there's
Mhm.
more precision there, because there we
Okay.
have to shoot like it's 10.1 to 10.9. The highest one is
Right.
10.9. So the score is
Okay.
in that process. Each and every decimal is very important. Even there's 10.0, and if it's 9.9, then it's a 9, and if it's 10.0, it's a 10. So in that case, like in the three position, we don't have, because the distance is much. ISSF have a rule. Our International Shooting Sports Federation has a rule that only the three position will be in full ring score. That is in no decimals, because
Hmm.
uh, it's too many shots. 120 shots in 2 hour 45 minutes. Like
Okay.
from first we have to do a kneeling, then prone, then standing, and it's 40 shots in each position,
Got it.
and along with the side. So it's a huge thing. For a huge time, we have to be in that mental state, and we have to focus in the every process of our shooting. At that particular time, we have to be there itself. We can't like
Okay.
lose focus at all.
Right, got it. So, Ayushi, you have been training and you have been into the sport since a very long time, and since you were at a very young age when you started shooting. So, one question that I have for you here is that a lot of young children face this problem that their parents feel that if they get into professional sports, they might feel a little pressure or they might get a little distracted from their studies. But you are someone who started playing at a very young age and whose parents have also been very motivating. So, what do you suggest? I mean, as a student, you are still a student, you're a 20-year-old, you're still into college. So, what do you suggest that at what is the right age when children should start playing, and how do they manage their studies or different co curricular activities with sports?
Like for shooting, I would say that it's 12 years of age is perfect for starting. Like anyone can
Okay.
start, but with basic rifle, like if they are doing a air rifle, then it should not be a heavier rifle. Then it can affect the spine. It can
Got it.
injure the spine. So
Hmm.
starting at 12 years of age, understanding the basic concepts, everything would help them to um, go on with, like they can start with prone shooting, which is we lie down and shoot. That's
Right. Got
very.
it.
And like I would also say that parents, you asked me that question, that parents are like have a big they are not sure enough that whether to put their children in sports or not, professional sports or not. And
Right.
being as I am doing a sport, as I am into a sport, and even I'm continuing my academics also along with that, I would say
Hmm,
that
hmm, hmm.
if anyone is dedicated towards it, that they want to continue both sports and academics, they can do. They can do it very easily
Okay.
because it's not too
Okay.
much tough. It's not too much tough because they can like if they know how to manage the time between that,
Hmm.
then they can. And like professional sports is very pursuing a professional sports, if the parents are very motivated, parents are very interested into sports, then they are
Hmm.
obviously they have no issues.
They
But
won't
in
face an
case if
issue.
any child is very interested but the parents are not doubtful, they have a doubt that what is the what is the outcome from sports, then
Got it.
I think so. In today's date, seeing all the things, seeing the achievements of all the sports person, I don't think so that uh, parents should have any doubt about sports as a career.
Okay, okay. So that's what you feel that students should not hesitate in playing sports because they can easily manage between sports and studies.
Yeah, yeah, and so in some cases, if they are not, if they want to only focus in sports, then it's
Mhm.
okay. But I personally feel that minimum education is very much necessary for even the sports persons also,
That's true.
because
That's
academics is very much necessary. We can't leave it behind.
right. Got it. And talking about now that we're talking about parent support, guidance, and mentorship, your father has been someone who has been your backbone and he has been guiding you. He's been your mentor, and I think he's been your coach also. So, what do you think is the importance of a mentor or a coach for a sports person? Not only for a shooter, but generally for a sports person. What's the importance of a coach, and what should a budding sports person look for in their coach?
Like a coach, as I said before, that coach is someone who is connected with the sports person, with his student or with his student. Because if the sports person is not like, if he's not having a good coach or someone who doesn't understands him or her, then it's very
Hmm.
difficult for him or her to compete also in to produce good scores, produce that do good in the sports. But
Right.
even if the coach, if the coach and the sport the student has a good wavelength match, then he or she can be easily it's a doctor and patient relation, that
Kind of
how a
relation.
doctor diagnoses his or her patient. It's similar in the case of a coach and sports person, like his
That's very
student.
true.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
That's very
very
true.
much important, because even if it's, I think according to my dad, if I speak about my dad, he is
Mm-hmm.
actually like, if I am shooting good, then he is too much happy. If I am not shooting good, if I am sad, then he is also sad. And it should become, it's not because of his father. It's even a coach feels this, even a coach should feel the same thing
Right.
with
Got
their
it.
student, that
So the
in
coach
their
should be empathetic.
happiness there will be happiness, in their sadness there will be sadness, this kind of thing.
Got it. Got it. That's something which is really important because I think like in the Indian culture, the guru's importance is really high. So that's very
And
well
that
said.
one more thing is that even why coach is very important, because
Mm-hmm.
if the shooter or some any sports person, anyone who is into their sports is performing, and the coach should be there to guide him very nicely, that whether like he should or he should not do that thing. In
Right.
each and every case, even I would say the coach is also related, coach should also know the personal things also of a sports person, personal things, because
Got it.
even those things affect the performance.
Yes. So it's important for the coach to understand the psychology of the sports person. I get
Yeah.
your point. Right. And Ayushi, your hometown is in Kolkata, but you study here in Chandigarh. So, which of the two cities would you prefer? I mean, which of the two cities is your favorite?
See, whenever I travel to Chandigarh, it's really good. It's really good there. I like the
Mhm.
atmosphere. I like the everything I like in Chandigarh. Like every even in Chandigarh and in Kolkata. If I talk about
Right.
the ranges, then it's paper target ranges. We don't have CUs even in Chandigarh and in Kolkata. CUs machine
Oh, okay.
in which we perform, in which we compete in the international matches or the national matches.
Oh, so
So
is there a third city that you would prefer?
I have heard that maybe so the Commonwealth Games would be held in Chandigarh. Next Commonwealth Games would be held in Chandigarh. So for that, in that case, they are going to prepare a range there with all the CU's
Wow.
machines and all. So I'm very excited with that, and if that happens, then I'm surely going to go there and train. Even my college is near. My
Yeah, that
college
would be
is
a
there
dream come
itself.
true for you. Right,
Yeah.
right. So, Ayushi, we've been in conversation for about 30 minutes, and it has been such a pleasure to have you. I mean, you're such an inspirational figure because in the beginning you faced some issues with your equipment, but you still, I mean, strived for it and you got it, and it's incredible. So, is there what closing remarks would you want to give to the audience? What is the message that you want to give out to the audience today?
uh, till date, according to my experience, I would say that there may be some matches that doesn't go well, and there will be matches that goes very well. But only
Right.
seeing, looking up to the success, if we feel that we like being happy only that we are getting good scores and all, it's not only the point. Like we have to face the failures also. Only if we face the failures, then only we can taste the happiness, like taste the success very
That's very true.
yeah. So even like the budding shooters right now who have started shooting, if they are facing issues, if they are not performing well in matches repeatedly, so I have seen them that due to that high score of right now, the where India has already reached the scores right now, people after starting only they are feeling that they are going to reach that level. So it's a
Right.
thing that you are this is a very wrong thing. First you should enjoy the shooting, like we should enjoy
That's
our
true.
sport. If we don't enjoy our sport, then how are we going to get good results? Because if we run behind the results, then I don't think so it would be it's a good thing. We should
Right.
always focus on our process, everything. We should enjoy our shooting, and like when the time will come, it will obviously we will if we are doing hard work, if we are doing our level best, everything, then I personally feel that nobody is going to able to stop us.
That's
It's
right.
we
So
who
this is a
are
very strong
making our
message
own.
from this is a very strong message for our viewers from Ayushi that there will be good matches and there will be bad matches. So probably what we are going through in our lives is just a bad match. It's just a bad phase that we'll
Yeah,
get over very soon. And if we stay strong right now, we'll soon be winning matches. We'll soon start with the good phase. So let's all
yeah.
be patient and let's all be positive. And thank you so much, Ayushi. It has been a pleasure to be in conversation with you. And we hope to have you here in Chandigarh soon. Probably
Yeah,
we'll have
sure,
an event whenever this thing ends and whenever it's feasible. So we would love to have you there with us. And it's been a pleasure.
sure.
So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. And we'll see you soon again. Till then, stay home, stay safe, take care. Bye bye.